Hey everyone, welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. As you can probably tell, I've done a little bit of stuff. I actually don't quite know how much stuff I've done. Can you actually see something? There's literally a torch right there. Let's place it over here. Much better. So I expanded into this room a little bit, changed up the plants over here since we were actually branching into another chunk. So we're just going to establish some new plants and stay in the chunks that we are already in. Branch into this chunk, which the factory is above anyway, so the torches aren't really doing that much, I'm aware. And also going to go into this chunk. And this is also going to be reclaimed later. Let's shut off the chunk boundaries though. We're going to move all of the stuff that is in here, all of these machines, to probably over here somewhere and potentially partially over here as well, because this is a space for our storage system. Everything that we currently have up in the main building that is currently getting polluted by all of the blast furnaces in there is going to be moved beneath the staircase, and generally in this area, probably down here somewhere a little bit as well. And we're going to have a steam tank right around here that is going to feed all of the machines that we're establishing in this room and over there. Not too sure if we're going to move the actual blast furnace. We're probably, most likely at least, going to get some higher speed charcoal, the quest that we have for that in the multi-block goals with the, what is it? This stuff right here. Going to do that, maybe look into that today, but the main thing I want to focus on is the card assembler. To recap what we had the standard card hull, we had the basic woodcutter, and we had a, however we'll and we had the coal engine. So what we needed to do now is, in Steve's cards, I claimed that, I didn't claim the other ones, we'll do that soon. We need the side chests, and that's about it actually, we just need the side chests. So I'm not too sure what parts I actually already have and which ones I have to still do, so let me see about that, because this doesn't seem too complicated at all. Here we go, we have storage now, we have fuel that the minecart actually moves, and we have a tool for it to cut down the trees. Let's go down to the card assembler and see how long it takes, because it usually takes, I think, around 1 to 2 hours real time to put it together. So let's stuff all of the things on. Ready to assemble card. We don't need any attachments, I don't think. We don't need any add-ons. We could maybe make a solar engine, like on the top. But I think we should start assembling. Oh, we actually need coal, but let's just see the assemble timer. Just 11 minutes. That's really not bad at all. So let me get some coal, and then we'll cut back when that is done. While our card is going, let's actually do some stuff. I just made some frame drawers, the good kind, this kind over here, since what I've been noticing is that I've been stuffing these 4x frame drawers really full, and then I have iron over here, and up there, and the same is basically here with tin, and it's also over here. So I think for the resources that I have a lot of, I should actually get these going instead of the 4x ones, especially because the 4x ones are actually more expensive, I believe. And that was pigment. Let's go down here. We're going to have the drawers. I might actually break that because it's really annoying and it's not in the best place there. We're going to have the drawers either here or one block. Yeah, let's have them here. I'm going to build up a drawer wall, and then under the stairs we can have some chests. Already moved some of our items, mainly the redstone, and even upgraded the drawer, which was really expensive. The iron, the tin, and the copper currently. We don't have that much copper, but we have a lot of tin and iron. Not really that much iron anymore, because we're going to need it in a second, as our cart is done. Here we go, 100%. The only thing is that we currently can't really use it since we need tracks for our cart. And tracks, I looked it up, require a lot of iron over here. That's in a bending machine. That's obviously screws that we can do. And this is just creosote and wood. Can we put that in an assembler and save some materials? 32 for you and 8. Oh my goodness, we're definitely going to do this. This seems really stupid in comparison to that. So let's do that and be smart. It might not be as stupid as I thought it would be, since we need to waste 6 of the thingies, 6 of the iron thingies, in order to get 32 rails, and the other recipe only requires 2 for 8. Well, no, it's still stupid. We're doing the bending machine anyway, the basic assembler, and I already have the cart, I have some of the wooden rail beds, but we actually need a place to put it, and I thought right at the back of the factory would be a good place. We're just going to have it on roughly this height. I have to see how it lines up over there, and then we'll have it going back and forth in this chunk, since all of the other chunks are pretty much filled, and I didn't want to put it. The original idea was to put it on top of one of these factories, especially on this one, but I didn't plan it out well, and I actually like the idea of skylights, since underground it's really dark in GregTech New Horizons. And I don't think we're too close to anything that will give us night vision for an elongated period of time, other than maybe night vision potions. Anyways, the entire thing is built now, and it stretches over all 3 chunks, as you can see. Now, around this chunk, that chunk, and this chunk. But the main tree farm is only going to be in this chunk and that chunk over there. Since I decided that this corner chunk is going to be for managing it, we might actually put the steam boiler over here, but I don't think so. The tree farm is going to be rather close to this building and the current steam boiler. I've also been polishing up this pathway a little bit. We're still missing some glass. If we go down here really quick, you can see it. That was previously dirt, and now it's stone, and still missing some glass. But I thought one thing we should do is name our tools. As far as I know, we can actually rename them because we haven't named them originally. So this guy is going to be named Scrappy. And that works. I have to get some names for the other tools, and then we're going to recap. Just when I figured out a cool name for my shovel, it doesn't let me rename it. For whatever reason, it doesn't take the name. Not too sure why that is, but that's just going to be the steel shovel. That's going to be Scrappy, and the healing axe I can't rename in there either. This axe we're probably not going to carry around too much, and then the other axe, which actually does damage, is already renamed the Tomahawk that we got at some point. So it's time to stop avoiding what I've been avoiding the entire time. Let's stuff some more of these into here. I think we might need more rail. No, we will definitely need more rail beds. But I'm going to lay out a track, see what is probably most efficient and fits within the 2 chunks that I designated, and then we're going to see how we actually manage the items that we're going to get. Laid out the track, and I even decided to make it go all 3 chunks, since we have the space and there's no reason why we shouldn't include it. And now we have a way bigger tree farm than I thought we would have. If we look on the map, maybe it doesn't look too impressive since we have all of these buildings here, which looks really cool. So this looks kind of boring, but we actually need a few more parts. I believe we need an advanced detector rail, at least one of these, which is kind of complicated to craft. And we also might need an external distributor, as far as I know. So that won't be fun. But for whatever reason, it doesn't say it in the quest book over here, or I might have just overread it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And here we go, advanced detector rail and the external distributor. I also need the cargo manager, and that should be in the chest that I have near this area, which we also have to move. There's a lot of chests we have to move. I might have to make a dolly for that. That will probably be something smart to do. Let's get back up there because oh no, I'm going to take you with me because this is a really dumb journey that I always have to take up this ladder, then all the way around here, and then I arrive right here. And let's make sure we built this at the correct spot. Is there a correct spot? Maybe around right here is the perfect spot for no reason whatsoever. Let's place that there. There might be a hole beneath that. No, there isn't. And now I actually got to configure this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I knew what I was doing before, like years ago. Now I got to figure this out again. I fell down a little bit because there's a huge hole beneath there, but I believe I have it configured now. We have this configuration that we have each of these isolated, which I can change with this, I believe. Whoops. Yeah, with that I can make that. And then we have this for the engine, this for all of these slots, this for the saplings. all of the slot goes from the cart to the cargo manager in this slot, and the engine and the saplings are going to go to the cart. Then I configured the external distributor to on purple right here. No, purple is below, I believe. What did I do? Top left, that was the engine, so that's going to get the charcoal. On the blue side, we're going to pump out all of the items. That's the storage slot that we're accessing. And the red side is going to be for the saplings. So this is the output, and these two are going to be the inputs. The only problem currently is that we need to have charcoal in this slot right here. Now our charcoal production is currently down there, which isn't ideal, so we should maybe look into making the high-speed charcoal and see how difficult that is over here, because it doesn't seem too difficult. Okay, maybe it's very difficult. I'm not too sure how difficult that is, but I'll definitely look into that, because if we get high-speed charcoal, that would be really amazing, since we're again filling up on creosote and draining on charcoal. Before we had around 660, that's dropping fast. Well, that's dropping really fast, because these little ones are all out, and the top one over there wasn't working. These are full, because this is full, and therefore we might run into some issues. Let's backpedal a little bit, since we might not be able to do this. As far as I know, and as much as I have learned, I currently cannot have this mixer work, since it only accepts 1 ampere and needs 48 EU, and we can't do that, or 48 EU per tick. So we can't really do that, but we need the IC2 coolant in order to cool down the hot netherrack bricks in a chemical bath. We would have that set up, and I think it would even work, but the IC2 coolant we currently can't produce, so we can't really get the high-speed charcoal going, which means we actually have to hook this up with a pipe that's probably going to go through our entire storage room. But good news, bad news, I got this tank emptied by just destroying the main... Oh my goodness, it's filling up fast. By just destroying the main block. This block is where the liquid is saved, so I just destroyed that, replaced it, and now we have an empty tank again. I just realized that the F3 screen actually says something about your hunger. It's right here. The hunger is 20, so I'm fully filled on hunger. The SAT is saturation, which is on 20, and the XA I think is exhaustion, and that is the dots right here. So if I walk around, you can see that the dots down here increased, and so does the number up here. So if we walk around a little bit and we pass over 4, you can see that my saturation goes down and the exhaust goes down to 0. Yes, I know, very, very interesting. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. What we're going to do is hook up the... Oh, that is filling up luckily. I believe it's filling up again. So let's put in a conveyor module, click with the screwdriver, and that should bring up charcoal up to our tree farm. So we still have a lot of charcoal down here. Maybe let's actually funnel that into the drawer that we need. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to check up in the tree farm if it's actually working. And by actually working, I don't mean the tree farm itself, because we still have the card in our inventory, and it's not quite set up correctly, but the important part is that we have charcoal up here. And you can see that is totally working. This is the important part. Next important part is that we get the saplings hooked up as well. So I gotta get that going and have some sort of sorting system for all of the items that come from the storage area. Because we need to get the wood in the coke ovens down there. We need to get that smelted. The saplings have to go back in here. And what are we going to do with the apples? No idea. And if we have extra saplings, we also got to deal with them. So I'll see about that. I'm not too sure how we're going to sort it. Probably using drawers or barrels, something like that. And then we should actually be almost ready to go. Decided to go with drawers since we actually had some left over. Wait, no we didn't. I crafted these. Why did I craft frame drawers though? Okay, I don't remember why I crafted frame drawers, but I went for drawers since the barrels actually required ender pearls for the void upgrade. And the drawers just require that we go into the MV tier and get some dense obsidian plates, which as you can see we currently can't do. I might not be able to do that in the MVH. I don't know how much voltage we have available there. I don't really know, but as you can see, I hooked it up that we have our output here going into some drawers, and those drawers are going to hold all of our items. These saplings are going to go right here. I made a drawer key to lock them, which wasn't too difficult, and then the saplings go into the red side, and as you can see, it fills up correctly. Now we just need to hook up the logs that we're going to get somehow to the coke ovens, and I thought across this line right here would be a good way to hook them up, and then I just have to see how I connect into the coke ovens, since the wiring back there is a mess. Surely it isn't perfect, but good enough. We have a pipe going all the way there, and I replaced some of the stone that we had for covers now. Doesn't look ideal, but I had to do it to access all of the coke ovens, and now this should all be working. We should be able to place our card, and it should just go away. And by go away, I mean it should work. That's the hope. So let's place it down, actually have it, which is good. And let's see. It loads up. The woodcutter is in full durability, repair with diamonds. Then we have a side chest. That's probably for the diamonds. And that's all that we have to know. Go. Okay, it's still loading up. There it goes. Okay, let's also see if it plants them next to one another. Why isn't it moving? Okay, now it's moving. Does it plant them one block apart? Yeah, it does. So if that wasn't the case, I would have been using spruce trees, like the 2x2 spruce trees. But since that is the case, I think oak is actually the best, since it can grow to tall trees, and those will be a little bit better than the normal spruce trees. So that's the reason why I'm using oak and why I have apples in here. And who knows, the apples might come in useful, either for, not really for food, but for processing something. I'm not too sure. So next step is probably prettying this thing up and making a better way to it, as well as fixing up some minor issues like this broken glass here. I don't know with this farm. It's not as fast as I would have liked it to be, and definitely a lot slower than I expected it to be, since this card goes around and around like 3 times before there's even one tree that grows. So it's really slow. And I wanted to observe how much fuel it's actually taking. It was on 2000 when it started. This time it actually chopped down a tree. So I think it must be, how much does this ride? Burn time 160, that can't be accurate. So how much fuel does it actually waste? I think one round is about 1.5 thousand. And that's 1 coal probably. So 1 coal per round, very, very roughly. So it's really not that great. And maybe we need to expand the tree farm a little bit. I already thought that 3 chunks would be big enough, but maybe it's not. Maybe I shouldn't be so wasteful, so to say, of my chunk space, because I thought if the tree branches out a little bit, it shouldn't go into the next chunk. On this side, let's not get driven over. On this side, we can't really have it too close, since there's literally a brick wall here. So we have to take a little bit of distance here, but we could maybe push it more into this direction and then have another pathway where it can plant trees maybe. But for now, this is going to be good enough. I haven't hooked it up completely. Either way, I'm currently waiting on my machines to process a little bit more copper wire in order to make some more electric motors, since we actually need to use the, what is it called? The conveyor belts right here, and sort our items into this. For now, though, I actually fixed that up, believe it or not. It happened. For now, though, what I was trying to say is we still have this hooked up, so this will obviously be draining first, and then it's going to replace the fuel with the oak wood. And until that happens, I think we can build up a buffer, and then we'll be able to see if it's able to keep up. And if it isn't, then we can expand the farm anyways. For now, though, basically, I want your opinion. Should I build it bigger before I mess everything up? Going to see if we have some time left still, and then figure out what we're going to be doing. I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is that if we install this conveyor module right here, click it with a screwdriver, everything should now be working, and it should be sorted from right here into the corresponding drawer. That's the good news, as soon as it starts working, which I hope it will do soon. We'll see it working probably. Bad news is that we're kind of out of time already. That's also good news. But yeah, we got a project done, which is really nice to see. Didn't waste a lot of time, at least I don't think. We're kind of out of time now though. And as you can see, it's working, so I think that's a good point to wrap up the episode. You can't see the contents of the drawer for whatever reason. Now you can. That is it for the episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to see you next time. Oh man, I gotta take a second right here. Look at that, 4 trees. That is amazing.